Hi, Jeff Burke here from the Broadband Forum. I'm here with Chris Croot, who is the co-director of our SDN and NFV work area. Good morning, Chris.
Morning, Jeff.
I wanted to ask you really quickly if you could summarize for us what the SDN NFV work area is all about.
Okay, so SDN NFV, so it's software-defined networking and virtualized network functions. So we're looking at sort of the next stage of telecommunications where we're taking our traditional monolithic style equipment and shifting those functions into compute, hopefully moving towards a far more agile method of being able to deliver and deploy services.
Well, here we are in Glasgow today, and I wanted to ask what some of the hot topics were in your work area right now, and some of the things you plan to accomplish maybe through this conference and going into next.
Okay, so at the moment we've got a few work streams going on, but our biggest is CloudCO. So that's looking at changing the traditional central office or exchange for the sort of UK market into a more compute environment. So taking those functions again and turning them into more virtualized functions so you can run traditional telco functions within a compute cloud. So that produces the framework for us. So we've got a few documents, TR 384, which we've completed, WT 411, which is our interfaces document, WT 412, which is our test cases document, and these are all backed up with our application notes, which is a new style of doing work in the forum. So we're taking the capability for anybody to come along and say, we want to do this type of use case. That generates an application note, of which we currently have 17. They then put in what they're trying to achieve, the actors that are going to take place in those notes, the sort of sequence diagrams, and then anybody can take these notes, work on them on the wiki, so that we have good collaboration through the IT systems that the forum has, and then be able to then publish these application notes so the industry can then take them, build the test cases, and build up a suite of automated tests to run through these particular cases, and they will drive the development of the interfaces document and the test cases document. So it's a slightly different way of working, but it's working well at the moment. I think we have 5 that are publicly available on the site. We also have our FANS project stream, so fixed access network sharing. So that takes the view that you might have a network where you have an incumbent operator, and rather than having that incumbent put their own equipment in and then other operators put their own equipment in, so you end up with multiple deployments of network in the same area. It enables those network operators who don't have their own equipment to utilise the incumbents as if it might be their own, so virtual unbundled local access. So rather than going down just a bitstream access, it looks to provide the framework and interfaces for data sharing and control to allow operators to use that incumbent's equipment as if it were their own, with the necessary security and separation within there. So there are 2 main documents within that, TR 370, which is published, and WT 386, which is currently in final ballot. So hopefully within the next few weeks that'll be a published document.
Clearly you've been busy. I understand that your work area is actually one of the largest within the Broadband Forum.
Yes, at the moment, we're definitely the area that's got an awful lot of focus and support from the companies out there, so we must be doing something right.
Well, I know that certainly when we were at the Broadband World Forum recently, that a lot of those app notes gained a lot of attention from folks in the industry, so I'm excited for the group overall. Building upon that, I guess I'll ask you why is all this work important to the industry?
So I think it's, I would say, well, a lot of things come down to cost, doesn't it? So if we're able to take monolithic equipment, replace it with compute capability, then theoretically we should be able to then take advantage of the fact that you can buy generic tin compute at a relatively cheap price, put it in your data centers, put it closer to the edge of the network, so you start to think about minimizing the latency that you're giving to your customers because your compute is moving closer to the edge, plus the ability to spin up services in a much quicker time frame than you're able to if you're putting monolithic equipment in. So that's a couple of reasons. There are also hopefully the reasons that you'll be able to take a lot of the data from your systems, take that back into your own networks, into your own compute capability, your data analysis, your HAS environments, do compute on that, and then automatically fix problems that you're able to see from that data. So rather than having to have lots of ops teams with highly specialized people spending time doing tasks that are repeatable, you can take that capability, put that into an intelligent platform, allow that to do the work, the crunching and the automated fixing, and then you can get those people that are spending their time doing those kinds of functions and actually get them to write the cases to go into that intelligence engine. So you're changing the skill base of your people. And that ties in nicely with the fact that we've just started a new project stream, and that's our AIM project stream, our automated intelligence and management stream, to look at doing precisely that. So we have a new working text we're working on, which is WT436. So
I know that's a really exciting one as well. I mean, let's just to summarize, you have a lot of activities focused on lower costs. You have a lot on faster time to market. And it sounds like you have some really the early parts of not only automation, but maybe even artificial intelligence, some of this as well.
Yes, we'll say the artificial intelligence always gets people a little bit worried, but this would be the good kind. One thing that I didn't mention as well is the WT408 we're working on, which is our migration document. So one of the good things that we're doing in CloudCO is we're working on the capability to not just deploy to greenfield sites, but also to allow the gentle migration of equipment from legacy to new. So we'll help pave the way for the operators to migrate their networks rather than having to have one huge capex spend to replace networks in their entirety. So.
Lots of noble causes and exciting stuff. I wanted to ask you, what do you see as you look forward to 2019? Any real expectations or things that you believe that are going to be really milestones for the industry?
I think it would be nice to start seeing some of the CloudCO and some of our sort of US partners, the Cord projects, to start actually getting real world deployments with paying customers on the end. That would be nice to start happening. We also got our fans documents. They're both the current issue ones are finished. I would like to see those being reopened and then progressing them, because at the moment they explain how to do things, but we could tighten up interface definitions, start to develop some of the Yang models so that we could do similar to what we did for fiber to the DP. We can actually deploy or publish the publicly available Yang models, so they can just be taken straight from the forum site and implemented in real work kit. So that would be good to start to see.
Oh, great. Well, I think that, as I said, a lot of great work, and it sounds like there's a lot of acceleration of activity here in your segment. So, with that said, this is with Chris Croot here, Jeff Burke here in Glasgow, signing off.